Hi everyone, Tiffany here with The Crafty Home, and today we are doing, I'm going to do Top 5 Wednesday. So Top 5 Wednesday is a group that was created by Ginger Reads Laney and is now hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tome. Thoughts on Tomes, not just one tome. And I'll make sure to link both of their channels down in the doobly-doo below, and also the Goodreads group. So this week's theme is top 5 most intimidating reads. I guess is the best way to say it. And yes, I'm bringing this from bed. And yes, that's my husband's music blaring from the other room. And he knows I'm making a video in here, which is probably why he turned it up louder. What are you going to do? Anyway, that's what happens when you're trying to do it from bed and you don't get to control the surroundings around you. So anyway, without further ado, I picked the books that I actually owned or had in my possession. One of them's from the library, but the rest of them I picked books I owned. So there's a lot more. There's classics. There's classics that could have gone on this list. One that comes to mind is Wuthering Heights. It comes to mind because somebody I know just read it. Who was it? It was sorry, I'm looking off in the distance, the answer is out there somewhere. It was Sabrina. Is that her name? I really hope I'm not getting her name wrong. From golly, and I can't think of her channel name. I've been watching all of her videos because she's doing Vita right now, and her Top 5 Wednesday just went up. It just notified me on my phone. And her channel, Steakachino. It's Sabrina, right? From Steakachino. I'll link her channel down below. Anyway, I think she just read it and didn't really like it at all. And it seems like you get that a lot, but everybody wants to read it. I don't know, how did it become a classic if everybody hates it? Beats me. Anyway, that would definitely be on my list if I owned it, but it is one I want to read. Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's go on with the books. First off, okay, as you will notice, these are all books that are the big books. They are big books, except for one isn't that big. But anyway, number 1, just because it happens to be on the top of this stack of books that I have beside me, is The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. This book is beautiful, by the way, don't you think? It's a beautiful cover. This is the Word Clouds edition, and even The Three Musketeers is all, I don't know if you can see it, if you can tell on video, but it's sparkly, which is kind of odd for a book that's about adventure, right? This book, however, has little teeny tiny print, and but aren't the end pages gorgeous? Okay, anyway, yeah, it's big and it's a classic, and they scare me because I'm afraid I'm not going to understand them, because I'm just afraid that I won't, and I want to understand it and like it. So I bought this from back when I was trying to do the Booktube Classics Club and failed miserably. So yeah, I want to read it, but it intimidates me. The next one should come as no surprise because it's also a classic. In my opinion, it's one of the most intimidating classics out there because it's humongous. This is also a Word Cloud Classics edition, and it is Les Miserables. I have tried to read this. Let me get a drink of water before, because I sound like a smoker now. My allergies are really bad right now. And since I'm doing this vlog style, this is what you get. I'm not editing it because I, don't have the ability right now, laying in bed to spend a lot of time doing that. There we go. All better. Anyway, Les Miserables. Sorry about all that. Yeah, I've tried to read it. I've wanted to read it. I took French in high school, so I was like, I want to read this book. I need to read this book. I've always wanted to go to Paris, and it's set, I just, but it's long. And it goes on and on. I will read it someday. I will. I must. I think I've read, excuse me, I think I've read the first 100 pages of it. I think when I was in high school. Intimidating for sure. Okay, move right along is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is also a pretty big book. I have like the mass market paperback, so the words are teeny tiny and you can barely open it. I may need to rethink and get a better edition because this is going to be, and I have the second one in like the same type, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to read it because you really can't open it. Like how, well, maybe you can a little more than that, but I'm probably going to need to buy it in a different edition. Anyway, from what I understand, like it covers one day at a time. Oh my goodness. I've heard it's really, really good. I'm a little scared because I've heard some people really, well, most people really love it, but, oh, sorry for the shaky. The tripod gets here Monday. You will all be just as thankful as I will be. My tripod / selfie stick. Which I'm a little embarrassed that I'm gonna own a selfie stick, but oh well. So yeah. I'm just a little intimidated by it. I think because it's like grown-up fantasy, and the only other grown-up fantasy I've read is Brandon Sanderson, and so I'm just a little scared. That's all. A little scared. Speaking of Brandon Sanderson, the next one is a Brandon Sanderson. The only reason I'm intimidated is because it's huge. And the next, so this is The Way of Kings. It's the first book in the Stormlight Archive, and the second book in this series is bigger. I was going to say huger, which isn't a word, but more huge, bigger, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm intimidated, but not as intimidated as the other books. Let's just say that. Because this is going to happen way sooner than, like, Les Miserables. Let's just be real. The last book is one that I picked up from the library after I heard Sam from Novels on Nonsense talk about another book, which is like a break-off companion. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a break-off series that a different author wrote based on this series or something like that. Anyway, so it's volume 1 of Malazan, Book of the Fallen. Why do I have to make these covers look so funky? Anyway, so it's Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson, and I thought I would give it a try. I don't know if I'll actually get to it this time around of having it checked out, but it's here. It's in my possession. And it's not huge, you know, but I'm a little scared because I've heard, I read some reviews, and I've heard it can be hard to get into, but I do like fantasy, and I need to grow up from YA fantasy and read big girl fantasy. I need to be big girl, big boy fantasy because I like Brandon Sanderson and I do like fantasy, so I can do this. I can do it. So anyway, those are my top 5. I'd hold them all up for you, but I only have one hand and there's a lot of them. So anyway, tell me what your most intimidating reads are and why, and you know, if you can't think of a specific book, like what genre makes you most intimidated. For me, it is definitely like adult fantasy, despite the fact that I love fantasy and want to get more into it, if that makes sense. And also, I think because I want to love all types of fantasy so much, and so that scares me, and then also classics. So probably also because I want to love classics so much that it scares me. So yeah, let me know what your most intimidating reads are and anything else you want to chat about in the comments. And until next time, I'll chat with y'all later. Bye!